What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do a follow video. So I'm gonna make a song right now and then just set you guys up, kind of walk you through what I'm doing, and just have you guys along for the ride. I'll try and explain stuff and like be clear. A lot of my processes are maybe not super clear, but I'm gonna do my best to explain it and have you guys here for the ride. I gotta turn this thing and sorry, I'm setting up my tripod right now. I want to make more tutorials and stuff for the purpose of, I've had a couple people reach out to me recently and, you know, pretty much say like, hey, like I really, you know, I've enjoyed watching you, you know, grow and stuff in your music, and you know, a couple people coming out like asking questions about my production process and stuff, and I feel like it's pretty straightforward for how I make most of my songs. Obviously music is not like really straightforward right off the bat, but I feel like I could simplify some stuff and do some lessons, you know? Sorry, I'm setting you guys on the camera right now. Do some lessons, do some helpful work. Okay, this needs to go down. It's raining today in Corvallis, Oregon. It is dumping rain, honestly. Very, very rainy boy today. The rain boy himself. Oh, what the heck? Oh, my lamp just fell over. That was weird. That's gotta be like a bad omen or something, right? I mean, shoot, I hope not. Right as I'm getting started on this song. Oh goodness. Hey, is that good enough angle? Okay, where am I at? I'm at 2 minutes. Maybe I could start a screen recording at exactly a certain time. Gosh, bear with me, guys. I'm not prepared. Okay, QuickTime Player. Here we go. File. New screen recording. All right, what time am I at? Let's do 2:20 is the start of the screen recording. 2:20, and go. All right, we're recording. Cool. That is an assignment. Okay, so we're gonna just delete this for now because this is just some weird stuff. So I would usually have started from the very beginning, but obviously I did not do that, so sorry that I did not start from the very beginning. I already have this vocal piece in here that essentially sounds like this. It's in the key of B. So it's la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da da da, or you know, something like that. I probably messed up the last notes. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to next add a guitar to this. So I have these pre-downloaded things here. This latency is literally just recording latency because I don't know how to fix it. I think it's the fact that I run my freaking cable or whatever through this like Link Hub HD Plus whatever. Since I put my USB through there and then that goes to my audio interface, it just lags. I don't know why. Anyway, the latency I corrected by essentially like starting the metronome, and so this is pretty interesting. So you start the metronome and you record through your microphone. So if I started the metronome, it's you know, you hear it going ba ba, and I like snap on the beat, and then I have to like move this clip that I just made. I drag it over so that my snaps are actually in time with the quarter notes. And then that shows me that I have this much latency going on in my project. Yeah, that's how you fix latency the manual way, or at least how I do it, but it's not perfect. Anyway, this is a vocal preset. I'm just gonna put vocal 1. That was just a take I did to this. You guys can hear it, maybe. Anyway, You can't really hear it because the sample's there. But next up, we're gonna add a guitar. What the heck was this? Okay, we're gonna ignore that because I don't know what that is. All right. So this one I'm gonna change to la la la, la la la. And then this I'm gonna change to guitar 1. And I'm gonna plug in my audio interface that is connected to my microphone. Now this is pretty interesting. So recently I have, it is actually super interesting. So recently I started recording with this vocal shield that Takumi gave me. Shout out to Takumi, check him out on Spotify, Apple Music. He's my homie who makes like rap, hip hop, R&B music. Super talented guy. Very kind gentleman as well. So I started recording vocals on it, but I also, for one of my last songs, recorded guitar on it, and what it does, you guys can't even see this vocal shield, so this is the vocal shield right here. So what it does is it like captures your sound and like kind of keeps it in like a box, and it does like a really weird thing with guitar where you have like a concentrated, like I usually end up with like 3 guitars in my mixes, and you end up with this like these 3 concentrated guitars. Honestly, it sounds sick. It's kind of hard to, know what I'm talking about, but I'll try and I'll try and show it at some point, but maybe you can hear it in the mix. I don't know. So essentially right now, I'm gonna move the camera for you guys. I'm going to just record a guitar to put on top of these vocals. Sorry that you can't really hear the vocals, but this is a raw process, so I'm trying to show you every in and out. So I have my metronome ready to go, so when I hit record, it's gonna play. And then I'm gonna record on guitar 1. Right now, fixing my gain on my Focusrite audio interface, I'm probably gonna want it to set about halfway because I want it to pick up those, the picking sounds just a little bit, but I don't want them to pick it up too much because you can end up clipping some of your like guitar files if you turn up your gain too much when you're recording a guitar. Recording a guitar with a condenser mic is honestly pretty damn complicated. To get it to sound right, I still, like, to this day, do not have a perfect method to it whatsoever. But does anybody really have a perfect method to anything? No, no, no. So this is in the key of B. Da 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 da. The rain in the background is going to be so annoying. Might even turn up the gain just a little bit because I'm going to be finger picking rather than manually picking with a pick. Using your fingers is quieter, so sometimes you have to adjust the gain for that. I don't know if that's like, it's like hard to hear the metronome. Alright, I think that one was good. We're gonna see what it sounds like. Alright, for the purpose of this, oh, it was muted, no wonder I couldn't hear what I was actually doing. Okay, for the purpose of you guys being able to hear what I'm doing, I'm going to unplug this. Oh, sorry, you can't see me. Okay. Yeah, that's a decent angle, whatever. Whatever. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my latency up here, and I have to move my guitar over that amount of latency. So essentially that readjusts the clip. That is actually like how much latency there is in my system. So essentially it's just going to correct it. And Logic's really weird. Like, even though I didn't record anything for this portion, you can drag this portion back because it starts recording 4 beats beforehand. Essentially, it's really weird. Even though there isn't a recording there, like, you can still drag it back, and then that'll help you if you're creating a new loop, which is what I'm going to do. So I know that my last loop was in these last 8 bars, so I'm gonna go ahead and just listen to that right now. I have to actually unplug. Whoops, I didn't unplug my audio interface yet. You can't hear anything out of the computer or your speakers if you have mixing speakers, which I don't because I'm a scrub. Okay, here we go. So first things first. Yeah, so this is gonna end up sounding kind of scrappy, which I kind of like. You know, this song isn't really supposed to be like really clean, and by that I mean like the transitions on my fingers are not super good. I also have skin peeling off of my finger. Yeah, watch another video of mine to know what that's from. It's frostnip actually, and my fingers have been peeling skin from frostnip, which is so whack. Okay. So essentially what I just did is I cut it right on the 8 bar count. So I know that this is happening right here on the 8 bars, and I'm using Command T to cut it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag that guitar clip all the way back. And now it's the same length as my la 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 la's or whatever. So this little section up here, next, this is the looping section. I'm going to create a loop so I can listen to this guitar over and over again. And now I'm going to edit it and add in effects. The first effect that I would usually put on this is an EQ. So I have a post analyzer going on right here, and as you can see, the EQ is system overload. Yeah, trying to screen record at the same time is kind of a crazy thing to do to your system. So for this guitar, I don't really want any of the 100 sounds, which is really just going to be the sound of my like hands and breathing that are coming into the mic, and I don't want those, so I'm just going to immediately cut those out. And then I'm probably gonna boost this 2000 section to get more of that like twang. And even like the 1000 section I'm probably gonna increase a bit as well. Because I want this guitar to be really present. I'm gonna cut off the high end here by clicking on the red, dragging it down to probably like 17,000. And I'm going to boost this high end even by just 1 decibel. So this guitar sounds really clean. Listen to it with the la la la's. Okay, after EQing it, I'm going to compress it. So go to a compressor. And you can select built-in compressors. I like to use these, but I also like to compress them myself. So I'll pick the acoustic guitar, which is, they have like certain ones that they use, the vintage FETs. Like, these are all types of compressors you use for different types of instruments. I don't really know the ins and outs of all of it, but essentially what I do is, in a tutorial I watched, they said to lower the attack all the way and turn the release all the way up, and then, you know, pretty much move it to a point where it sounds good. And you usually want your ratios around like, 3 to 5, not much more than that, depending on what you're compressing. I mean, you can compress the heck out of it. This isn't a tutorial on what a compressor is, so I'm not going to explain it, but so this is like a really common problem if you use, if you record your own stuff, you will run into this problem so much, especially if you're looping, if you're looping instruments. It's solved really easily, but essentially, if I decide to loop this instrument in, you know, I have a 130 beats per minute going, and it's in a 4/4, and I hear this, that's a clip. So essentially that's like audio that starts, and then the audio that is like at the end. So here's the audio that's happening. It's going and it's going, it's going, and then it gets to the end, and it has to start at a really high point, and it just is jarring, and it'll make a pop sound. Really, you can manually like automate it and get rid of it that way. You can also do a fade, but be careful when you make a fade at the end of a clip that you're looping, because that fade will usually continue out through all the other clips. But that's what I'm gonna do because I'm confident that it's going to work. So to get my fade tool, I go and select fade tool, and then I hit command on my keyboard, and I fade out the end, and then I hit loop again, and I'm gonna listen to it and see what it sounds like. And that fixes it. And I know that this sounds like still kind of jarring and awkward, but this isn't gonna be a main guitar, this is just a supplemental guitar. So there's not a lot of attention happening on this transition point, which is why it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna plug in my computer before it dies. Probably should have done that first, but you know, whatever. You guys are here for the bug. Man, making tutorials is taxing. Taxing, baby. I'm gonna turn off my heater too. Heater's popping off. Gosh, I have a headache today, and I do not know why. No fun. Alright. Let's run this back. So I have right now an EQ and a compressor in that order. Alright, I'm pretty satisfied with the space that this is taking up. So the next thing I'm going to throw on is something called a direction mixer, and it's essentially when you have a speaker, you know, you can have a speaker sound go from 0, which is shown here, all the way to 2. When you use this direction mixer, 2 is like way on the outside of the speakers. Like you know, this is the sound that if you're listening with headphones, it sounds like it's like behind you. You know, like it's right there, rather than 0 when you listen with headphones, feels like it's like right in front of you. And depending on how you layer instruments, I started using this to layer instruments because I think it sounds really good when you stack them. When you have a bunch of instruments, you know, spread out properly, I think it can sound really good. Rather than panning them, I just think it sounds better. I used to pan all of my instruments, and now I try to use the stereo splitter. It doesn't mean I don't still use the pan. The pan, you know, is selecting exactly where you want something to be. But yeah, I started using this. So I think I want this guitar probably sitting around like 1.5, maybe even like 1.2, somewhere in there. It's gonna make more sense when there's more stuff playing too. I usually will do this kind of last. Alright, I'm liking how that's sounding. I'm gonna probably add another guitar now. New track with duplicate settings. We'll call this guitar 2. Now we gotta come up with some new guitar riff. Or just something simple. I don't know. Man, this video is already 20 minutes. Sheesh! Really don't know how this happened. Whoa, what did I just do? Did I just unlock advanced? What did I just do? What is I? Hey, Look, user error. Input monitoring. Why did I just turn that on? Alright, I don't know how I just turned on input monitoring, but whatever. That's just part of using Logic. Still, years later, not knowing how to use my software. That's low-key hilarious. Okay, we're gonna mute that. So I turned these down to -10, and then I'm turning up the guitar that I'm gonna record next to 0, so that I can hear it better in playback. Okay, I'm gonna switch you guys over. Play some more stuff. Okay. It's key to B, right? Alright, I kind of know what I'm going to do. Sorry, probably just cut out there for a sec. Here we go, 2, 3. Damn it, that was it. 3, 4. Let's keep it. I don't know how far back it goes, but let's find out. Alright, so dragging the latency. Drag the latency. Alright. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real. He's the only father that I ever knew. Alright. Here we go. You won't be able to hear it. Yeah, let me just unplug. Let me just unplug. Well, and then I gotta take off my headphones, so listen. Thing is, this one's good? Maybe? Oh shoot. No! Why is this looping improperly? That's not good. Oh, because it's dragged back too far? What the heck? God, is that clipping too? Sheesh. Maybe. Yep. I'm gonna have to do the same thing with this one. That's okay. We'll fade this one. Drag it back. Alright, so I want this guitar to float a little bit more. So I'm going to put some reverb on it. We're going to go to Chroma Reverb. And I'm going to select Vocal Hall because that's my favorite one. Turn the attack up to about 20, 15. Alright, this is not super good. It's still clipping even with the fade out, so I'm going to have to create a fade in as well. Which is a bummer, but hey, that fixed the pop. Nice. So after I put reverb in here, I think I'm going to EQ it to contain the reverb, so you can kind of see where the reverb's all happening. I'm going to contain this guitar. Nice. And then I'm going to move the direction mixer down again. So essentially what this will do is that it'll take the reverb and it will send it into that direction. Even if the reverb is spread out amongst the stereo, the direction mixer will put it back in that spot, which is a different effect than if I were to have the direction mixer on top. And so the effects happening here go in that order. I think this is all the tutorial I have time for today, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it maybe taught you something, or maybe you just enjoyed it. Okay, see you later. Bye!
You and me, two peas in a pod, two little fish just swimming along. Ocean getting bigger, hope that we're not gone for too long.